In the fast-paced world of entertainment, where trends come and go in a matter of weeks, there are few who manage to maintain relevance while simultaneously evolving without losing their identity. One such figure is Park Jimin. Through his numerous performances and creative process, Jimin has become known not only as an idol but also as an artist who truly loves his work. The SWIM dance rehearsal is one of the clearest examples of something often talked about, but rarely fully understood by many: uncompromising dedication. What makes this rehearsal so compelling isn't the glitz of the production or the complexity of the choreography, but rather the honesty that radiates from every movement. In the rehearsal footage, there are no stage spotlights, no dramatic lighting effects, and no glamorous costumes. There is simply a dancer, a practice room, and raw hard work. And that's precisely where his power lies. When all external elements are stripped away, what remains is the essence, and Jimin is able to fill that space with something that's hard to ignore. His movement after movement demonstrates that he hasn't simply memorized the choreography. There's a deep understanding of rhythm, dynamics, and the emotion he's trying to convey. He doesn't move simply to keep up with the count, but to create a flow that feels alive. Even in moments where the movements seem simple, there's a certain quality that sets him apart. The way he shifts his weight, how he controls his energy, and how he ends a move, everything feels so thoughtful. What's most striking is how he treats practice as if it were a real stage. Many people might think of practice as a place to make mistakes, try, and then improve. Jimin certainly does that too, but with a much deeper approach. He doesn't wait for the moment to perform, to give his best performance. He does it from the very beginning, even when there's no audience. This shows that the standards he holds aren't external, but rather come from within. There's one consistent pattern throughout the process: tireless repetition. He repeats the same part over and over again, even when it already looks excellent. This isn't a negative form of dissatisfaction, but rather a manifestation of the high standards he sets. He knows there's always room for improvement, no matter how small. And for Jimin, the small details are not something to be overlooked. In fact, they are the difference between good and extraordinary. When he pauses to turn it on, it's clear that he's relying not just on instinct, but also on analysis. He re-examines the movements he's executed, considers what could be improved, and then tries again with a slightly different approach. This process demonstrates a high degree of self-awareness. He knows what he's doing, why he's doing it, and how to improve it. However, strong technique alone isn't enough to create a memorable performance. Emotion plays a crucial role, and Jimin demonstrates remarkable mastery in this area. Even in a relatively informal rehearsal setting, he remains captivating with a full sense of feeling. His facial expressions are never blank, and his body always speaks. He's able to bring the choreography to life in a way that makes the audience, even those watching from a screen, feel something. Interestingly, the emotions he displays don't feel contrived. There's nothing exaggerated or forced. Everything feels natural, as if the movements and feelings are coming from the same place. This is a very difficult quality to achieve, even for many professional dancers. It takes honesty, courage, and a deep understanding of oneself to dance in such a way. Furthermore, there's one aspect that often goes unnoticed, but it's very evident in this exercise: control. Every movement Jimin makes has a clear boundary. He knows when to hold, when to let go, and how far he can move his body. No movement feels excessive or disoriented. Everything is under control, yet still feels free. This combination of control and freedom creates a very distinctive quality of movement. Discipline is the foundation of all of this. Without discipline, it's impossible to achieve the level of consistency Jimin demonstrates. He comes to practice with intense focus, works with consistent intensity, and never seems half-hearted. Even when tired, he maintains the quality of his movements. This shows that his discipline isn't just a habit, but has become a part of who he is. Interestingly, behind all this greatness, he maintains a humble attitude. He never seems satisfied with his own achievements. He always has a desire to learn, to develop, and to improve. He's open to feedback and doesn't hesitate to admit when there's room for improvement. This attitude keeps him moving forward, without getting stuck in his comfort zone. The focus he displays during practice is also noteworthy. In today's world full of distractions, the ability to be truly present in the moment is invaluable. Jimin demonstrates the ability to focus his full attention on what he's doing. No movement is done automatically or unconsciously. Everything is done with intention and full attention. From everything seen in the swim rehearsal, one thing became abundantly clear. Jimin doesn't just dance, he lives it. This is a testament that's hard to deny. Even for those unfamiliar with dance technique, there's something palpable. The energy, sincerity, and dedication are palpable. Many people talk about talent, but this rehearsal demonstrates that talent is only the starting point. What truly makes the difference is how one develops that talent. Jimin is a living example of how hard work, consistency, and commitment can take someone beyond seemingly impossible limits. More broadly, what he demonstrates in this rehearsal can be a lesson for anyone, not just those in the dance or entertainment world. His dedication, his approach to the process, and his attitude toward learning are relevant across a wide range of fields. It's a reminder that excellence doesn't come instantly, but is built through a long, often invisible process. The swim rehearsal may only last a few minutes on the surface, but it contains years of experience, training, and character building. Each movement is the result of a long journey that hasn't always been easy. And that's precisely why what he demonstrates feels so powerful. Ultimately, what Jimin proves in this rehearsal isn't just his ability as a dancer, but who he is as an artist. He shows that dedication isn't something that can be faked. It shows in the way someone works when no one is watching, in how he treats the little things, and in how far he's willing to push himself. And in that, Jimin has provided a crystal-clear demonstration that when someone truly loves what they do, dedication becomes inevitable. It doesn't need to be announced, it doesn't need to be flaunted, but it always shows itself. It's something that, once witnessed, is hard for anyone to deny.